What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th, Part 2. So after watching the original and actually being a little disappointed with it not being as good as I remembered, I didn't go into the second one with very high expectations. But I was happy to find out that I had a lot more to enjoy in this one than I did in the first. Obviously, this is the introduction to Jason as the murderer. I'm gonna probably get into some spoilers with this, so I'm going to be surprised with this one. So, the characters in this one are really, really likable, and most of the characters, like, they have personality that you like, and so a lot of the characters in the first one were very forgettable. I liked the final girl in the first one, but that's the problem I have with this movie. The final girl survives. She's in this one at the beginning, but they kill her off like less than 10 minutes in. And that was a little disappointing because I really liked that character. I wish they would have just not brought her up. But the way they do it, I like. But at the same time, it's also strange. But I don't know. Now, this movie, I didn't know, took place at a different camp. Because Camp Crystal Lake is cut off and you can't go to it because of the murders that happened with Pamela Voorhees and all that stuff. And in that brings some interesting stuff to it. It's not a very big plot thread. There was some satisfying kills in this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only returning character besides the main character from the first, besides the final girl at the beginning, Crazy Ralph, he's back in this one. But he dies, which is satisfying to see that character go. Not gonna lie. But most of the characters, there's a character in a wheelchair, I really liked him. I don't remember his name. And then there's a girl that's kind of trying to get with him. I liked her too. I really thought she was gonna be the final girl. And I wanted her to be the final girl, but then they killed her. And just the characters that you think is gonna be the final girl really isn't in the movie as much as some of the other characters, and isn't giving a bunch of personality, in my opinion. And that's a little bit of some of the downsides of this. And the ending is weird. It's not very clear what happened, and it's not extremely clear, so that's something that bothers me. But we got to talk about the man himself, Jason Voorhees, in his very first appearance as a murderer. Yes, we saw him as a drowning child in the first movie, but his first appearance as a murderer. And this is before the hockey mask, which he doesn't acquire until I believe the next movie. Really interesting design for Jason. It's a sack over his head, and to the point you get to see his actual face, and it's all mangled and messed up. His eyes over here, kind of, and it's really interesting. And the makeup work is pretty good on that, even though you only get to see it in this slow motion portion. But Jason's kind of a pushover in this movie. I am not gonna lie to you. Jason is kind of a pushover throughout most of this film. Like when he gets pushed down a lot in this movie, and I guess I get it because he's still alive at this point in time. He's still alive. He's not dead yet. But still, a lot of that bothered me. I'm not gonna lie. But I get, if that's what they were going for, I get it. But it's really odd what they try to go for in this movie. But Yes, I just put my ring on. I'll take it off actually. But I don't know. My brain is being stumped and I don't know what else to say. The kills are pretty decent, not gonna lie. Like, they're not as iconic as the first movie. I do like the one where the guy in the wheelchair, his death is really interesting. And I believe, like, I think they try to establish that Jason has some psychological problems as well, I guess, like from living in the woods for a long time. Maybe, because, like, he's able to be tricked into thinking that the final girl is, Pamela Voorhees, which is an iconic scene, but I also don't know if it's kind of cringy, but at the same time I get where they're going, but I don't see why I wouldn't have thought to do that. Like, I can trick this guy, and I don't know. But the final girl, she was like, she was so skeptic about how Jason actually would be the whole movie and everything, so that was interesting. And I think they have a prop head, and this is just supposed to be Pamela Voorhees' head. It doesn't really look like Pamela Voorhees, but maybe it was. I don't know, because it didn't really look like it to me. I have to go back and rewatch it, but it just sat weird with me, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that was something that really sat strangely with me when watching this. Now, I really did enjoy it, though. I did. It was a lot of fun, and I legit had fun with this film. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the first one, not gonna lie. It's not a bad movie in the slightest. And I like Jason being the antagonist better than Pamela Voorhees, because the only reason why Pamela Voorhees was kind of threatening in the first movie is because we never saw her to the last little bit. But with Jason, they don't try to hold back too much on showing him as soon as they're ready. Like, you see a little bit more of him, and there's some fake outs, and there's a lot of fake outs, like, where you think that someone is Jason with the way they're filming things, but it's not. It's another character. There's a scene where a girl goes skinny dipping for no reason, just I guess to have that in the movie, I guess. But then you see a hand go to grab her clothes. I think it's Jason. It's not Jason. It's one of the other teenagers, or teenagers, adults. I don't know if they were teenagers or adults. I couldn't tell. I don't think they were teenagers, because one of them mentions being in college, and I don't know. But the movie does work well with what it's given. And as a follow-up to the first one, it's much better in my opinion. I enjoyed this one much more than I enjoyed the first one. But I understand people who wouldn't like this movie, because one, I am not the biggest fan of Jason's design without the sack on his head. I really ain't. But if I give this movie a rating, I think I'll give it a solid 4. A solid 4. I think it'll be great. Now, if you guys enjoyed this review, I'm gonna be reviewing Halloween 2 soon, because I know I actually reviewed the original Halloween 2 years. But we're gonna be doing. So I don't know why I brought that back up. But we're gonna be reviewing Halloween 2 soon, because I reviewed the original Halloween about 2 years ago when Halloween 2018 came out. So we're gonna, because it's on Shudder, and I had a subscription to Shudder, which is definitely a good horror streaming service. You should definitely check it out. But yeah, Halloween. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one with another review. Bye.